Welcome to all my astrology friends out there. This is a video about another eclipse. Another eclipse. We just had that one eclipse in Libra, and I'm already talking about the next one. That's how it goes. Life, it goes on and on and on. So I hope you are all well, and I hope you are all, between these eclipse times, that you dealt well with the Libra eclipse. And if you haven't check out the video. I'll put a link below or at the end of the video to the one that is all about the Libra eclipse. But this eclipse is about the Taurus eclipse, and I'm having a big smile on my face because it's a nice eclipse. It's a totally different one, and it's one with you could say at the beginning of that eclipse, it's quite a lot of intensity, but at the same time, there's such a beautiful energy in earth signs that there is a lot of support and stability. So I'm going to break it down for all the 12 signs, but first, in general, what is this all about? So round at about the 28th of October, we're going to have now the last in the series of the Taurus Scorpio eclipses. It's the last one in Taurus. The moon will be at 5 degrees of Taurus, and it will opposing the sun, which is going to be at 5 degrees of Scorpio. So that is a full moon lunar eclipse, you could call it. Depending on where you're living, 28th of October, round about that timing, we're going to have that full moon. Now, it also belongs to the Saros cycle 7 south, so it's the same message in general on a bigger scale as with the message that I was talking about with the Libra eclipse. And that message is that big problems can be solved now quite quickly. And that is a good sign, right? Suddenly there is breakthroughs, there is a high speed, and especially problems that have been going on for a long time. So it's that same vibe. It's also that same Mars square Pluto kind of vibe of that initial eclipse, that is, of that Saros cycle, which is all about transformation. So we're sitting in the same vibe, but what is going on during that day, before and after, and what kind of vibe are we? Well, it's a very earthly kind of vibe, because a lot of planets are in earth signs, and the moon will be in Taurus. So that is, the moon is very happy in Taurus. It's feeling very stable. When the moon is in Taurus, it's a good time to have a massage. It's a good time to have good foods, good drinks, good sex. It's very sensual. It's about the senses, and it's about the good things of life, the good qualities. It's luxury products. It's all of that juicy, good stuff, and very down to earth. It's about, having a steak with French fries, or it's about having, if you're a vegetarian, having a wonderful meal with lovely bio vegetables, or whatever. So it is about quality time, and it's about slowing down as well, because in the zodiac, Taurus is the most slow sign. And it wants to be steady. It wants to be solid as a rock, but in a good way. It's about support. It's about being the container, so that the chaos that is going on, that people are grounding themselves. So therefore, it's a very welcoming energy. But of course, it's not just the moon is there and that's it. No. The moon is making a lot of aspects while it's going through that phase of the full moon and of this eclipse. First of all, it's going to bump into an opposition to not only the sun, of course, but also to Mercury and Mars, who are in Scorpio, around at about 10 degrees. So that moon is going to be full, and that is going to bump immediately into Mercury and Mars in Scorpio. Now, that is you could say, the most challenging part of this full moon, because when the moon is aspecting Mars, it's like, I'm getting fed up here. I'm getting frustrated because of something, or at least because of someone. right? It's a very emotional kind of, people who've got moon opposite Mars, they're quite fiery. Depending on what signs it is, these are all fixed signs. So it's not going to be in the face, but still it is that energy of, I'm frustrated here and I'm angry because, yes, why are people angry? Because they are not heard, because they can't do their desire that they want to do. So that will come up first and foremost during this full moon. And Mercury and Mars together are a very, although it is in Scorpio, Scorpio is not loud, you could say. It's happening within. But with Mercury and Mars, it makes someone really loud in their speech, that is, in their communication. And when it's in Scorpio, it can, those people who can really, with their words, cut, right? It's that kind of energy. So we could be dealing during that time with some words that are going to be a very much more in an energy of expansion. And why am I saying that? Because of course, also Jupiter is in Taurus at 11 degrees. So that Mercury and Mars is opposing Jupiter. So there's going to be a lot of words, a lot of that energy that is all about, the downside of Scorpio is doing things under the radar, right? It's like this passive aggressive kind of energy, like, I'm going to stick you. I'm not going to say to you directly what I mean, but you're going to feel it, right? It's, I would that look as well. So what can we do? Well, we can expect that some people are going to use that. But of course, now that we know it, first of all, it's the shadow side of Scorpio. You just want to be authentic, basically. You want to be authentic and you want to listen to what people are saying, but you also want to stand your ground. And that is actually what this full moon is all about. It's because it's on the axis of Taurus and Scorpio, it's about values. It's about what's yours, what's mine. It's about what do you, and of course, this is all Venus ruled because Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So this is going to go again about relationships. Again, what do you bring on the table? But hey, what do you bring on the table? And that could be some, what do? I do this and that and that and that. And what do you do? Well, I do this and that. You see, it's about this power struggle. So watch out for power struggles. Watch out for power struggles. Of course, we all have egos and we don't have to let people walk all over us, not at all. But it's important also to listen to what other people have to say. And that is the balance that we're seeing here. But after that, so I think there's going to be conversations. There's going to be conversations, secret conversation about secrecy, about taboos, about things that are not easy to talk about. It's in Scorpio after all. So things could come out, things could be brought to the surface with a tiny little bit of a crisis, or maybe a lot. I don't know. It depends on your story. But let's hope that it clears the air. And then after that, so for better or for worse, these are eclipses. So it's like the universe, a call of the universe, like, hey, you're off track. You have to get on track again. Thank you very much. That's what the universe is saying when we are in these eclipses. So, but after that, whatever we're going to say, do, or receive as information, it seems like there is like a very application of it immediately in a new way, but in a very practical way and in a loving way and in a transformative, innovative way. Because then when Moon is off that Jupiter and Mercury and Mars, it bumps into a trine to its ruler, which is Venus. So we're going to have a Moon in Taurus trining its ruler, Venus in Virgo. And then it's going to bump into Uranus. So the Moon is going to conjoin with Uranus as well. And it's going to trine with Pluto, another Earth, planet in an Earth sign. So what we're going to have is what we call in astrology a grand trine. And that is amazing because it's between Venus, Pluto, and Uranus. And the Moon is accelerating it. So Venus, of course, is love, is money, all of these things. And when there is a big trine, it means like, oh, it's a windfall. So a windfall of love, a windfall of money, something good coming up here, something, and also tangible that you can feel because it's in earth signs. Yes, Venus is approaching Neptune. It is not still there, but Venus is approaching an opposition. Is approaching an opposition to Neptune. So we have to stay with the feet on the ground. But I think with all those trines, we will. So what we see here is an opportunity to the sooner you have that conversation, you know, that moon opposite this Mercury. It's about if you stick to the truth. I mean, the truth is going to set you free. It really is. It really is an eclipse like that. When you are not afraid of showing who you truly are. And yes, there are going to be consequences, but after that, there seems to be this understanding as well. This can be something that really clears out a lot of tension that we have been building up for many weeks and months, whilst Venus was doing lots of things with the going backwards and forwards in Leo. So we learned something from it, right? I hope we did. I hope we all did. And it's about these values, and it's about what we value and what we bring to the table, and what we, you know, it's I've been talking about this for months now. And this is a huge opportunity now to see the reward. And especially the days after this eclipse, because then that moon is going to make that grand trine be very stabilizing, and that is good. That is good. So the sooner we talk our truth, so maybe there is a conversation that you need to have that you've been afraid of for so long, but do it in a very calm way. You know, Taurus is reflecting that it gives us this stability and this calmness. You know, when we say difficult things in a way that we are all fired up, it's not going to work out well, or the chances are going to be not as high. So use that energy for, if there's something that you need to talk about and that is very transforming, do it. When you are getting information that is really transformative, really out of the blue, know that it's for your best interest. And especially when people see that these are things that they didn't expect, it's important to be open for that, because otherwise you're living a not real life. And it's all about this realness and rawness. Taurus wants to be real. Taurus doesn't want to fake. It doesn't want to pretend. It wants to be enjoying themselves, and it wants to be calm and supportive and loving. And so yeah, I really love this this eclipse enormously. But after all that other stuff that has been going on for quite a while, let's look very shortly for the 12 signs. So very shortly, in particular, what kind of area is this all about? This illumination of, you know, the area of life where we can apply all of that. For Aries, this is in your second house. So this can be a very good financial breakthrough for you, because this moon is in the second house, Venus in the sixth of values, your value, your confidence, your money. So there can be a boost there. Let's hope it's both. And it probably will for a lot of you. And it's trining Venus in your sixth house, and then Pluto in the 10th. So it's also the work houses. So if you do work, there could be a boost there because of work, that there is this extra income. If you want to have that promotion, go for it. There is a huge support here of those houses. And yes, it's lovely. It's not so romantic that I'm talking about now, but it's more about your confidence and about your assets. Taurus, of course, you will feel this the most because it's in your sign. It's at 5 degrees. And this is about your inspiration. This is about you showing who you are. Absolutely. And the Venus is in the 5th house, so it's going to open up your heart, and it's definitely going to open up your mindset and how you think about your life in general. So a huge, huge kind of, you could say, enforcement of your spirit. It's a lot about the how you show up in your life and how you are being who you truly want to be. The true Taurian is a person that is stable, is a person that wants love and stability. And that's why you're here. That's why you have a sun in Taurus or a moon in Taurus. It's to be that rock for other people as well. So you're going to show that, that it is so significant for you, for sure. Geminis. This is happening in the water houses. So the water houses are emotional houses, so people don't know that that is going on with you. But the 12th house is just a house, the Taurus house is just a house before Gemini. So this is about release. And this is also about, it's a wonderful time for you to go on a vacation, for instance, to a faraway country if you can, to relax, to have some days off if you can. And you're going to feel very nurtured because of that. You know, the Venus is in your 4th house, or with a loved one, you stay at home, but you do something very private. So it's very exclusive, you could say. And Pluto is in the 8th house. So it's all about those emotional supports that are there. You don't see them, but you feel them even more than ever. It could also have to do with that feeling of healing, you know, if people passed away in your life and that you feel their support very strongly. Absolutely wonderful here. Cancerians, this is in a very light area for you. So this is very bubbly. It's happening in your 11th house of friends. And these are the connection houses and the air houses. So this is for you having a good time. The 11th house is the house of friends. It's the house of groups, associations. So do something with your friends in a group. You're going to have a ball. You're going to have good conversations, deep conversations though, but very healing at the same time. Venus is in your 3rd house. Again, it's like the butterfly. Venus in the 3rd house means that it's a wonderful time to have a gathering with friends, to do something with other like-minded people, the people that you have a heart connection with. And Pluto is in the 7th house. So there's also, whether you are in a romantic relationship or not, there are things and stuff that are like transforming here, that are changing. And it's for better or for worse, of course, but you've got that feeling that you belong and that you're not alone in all of this. Leo, this is in the 10th house. This is in your career houses, you could say, and the 10th house is in illumination there. And of course, with the North Node, it shows that direction is, it's the last call, so to speak, for maybe there is something that you had to do, a presentation for your job or whatever, but you're standing in the limelight here, in the spotlight, and it's about the efforts that you've been doing. It's a good time to ask for that promotion, for asking for that rise or that change. It could be that it's the culmination of a change of a job as well. With Venus in your 2nd house, you are feeling stronger. The validation of the self is stronger. And Pluto in the 6th house. So there is this transformation of your daily routines as well. If you don't work, this has to do with how you want to be seen in the world. It could be a parent as well, that there is a shift in their life, but it's one that is like, because of that shift, because of that, you could say things coming to light, you kind of have a connection that is very down to earth and that is very supportive for you. Virgos, very fiery here energy, very inspiring energy, because the spirit houses are here activated. This is happening in your 9th house. It's the house of connection with the divine. It's the house of travel, the house of astrology and philosophy and higher studies. So something can culminate here and come to the light. It can be an insight. It can be because of studies that have finished here, or there's some sort of a, and Venus is in Virgo, of course, which is in your sign. So it's like there's a charm around you now that, I'm not saying Virgos are not charming, not at all. But it's like even more with this Venus in your sign, like you kind of become a little bit more magnetic here, whilst you don't have to do anything. Just be the Virgo you, the caring, humble personality that is witty and that is loving, and with Pluto in the 5th house, it could be as well a romance that is now really, you could say, lifting you up now. Could be a new romance, or connected with your heart, to say the least, and that you feel very good about that. Librans, this is in the water houses, so people are not seeing that you're going through all this. But the 8th house that is highlighted is the house of shared resources with someone else, like a business partner or a life partner. But it could definitely also be a culmination of that, because it's so real in Taurus, of more intimacy in your life, of more connection in your life. You know, the 12th house is stimulated with Venus there. So there could be things going on behind the scenes that cannot be shown yet, whatever that is. And Pluto is in the 4th house. So there is a lot of emotional support that you're feeling. And it is because the Librans have done a lot of work with their ruler, of course, also being Venus, going through all these phases of the retrograde and so on. It's like now the first signs of this total transformation of you being a different person. And they're still shedding off the skin, though, with Venus in the 12th house. And there's still this energy of this I need to let go of, yes. But at the same time, you see the transformation is coming. The tackling of the fears, for instance, it is also happening. And there could be also a financial windfall when it comes to other people's money, or when it comes to loans and so on, that things come to fruition here. Scorpio, this is your work houses. This is happening in the 6th house of your day-to-day life, your health, your work. There is a change there. Something shows itself here with this full moon, and it's connected with Venus in the 10th house. So if you do want to have a new job, you can use your charm for sure with Venus in the top of your chart. And it could mean that someone is helping you as well with a new job, or improving those finances for you as well. So very good energy for the Scorpios when it also comes towards something that is coming to the light. When it comes to your health, you might have had some things that you wanted to improve. And I was saying this for Sagittarius. I knew I was doing something wrong here. I said, what the hell is going on here? This was for Sagittarius, by the way. Mea culpa. I'm going to put the link here of Sagittarius before the Scorpio. I mean, this was an error, but sorry for that, mea culpa. But this was for the Sagittarians. So yes, let me start off again. For the Sagittarians, this is what's going on. This day-to-day life, something in your work has changed. The routines have changed, have improved. Your health has changed, has improved. And whatever you've done, it's working. And it has a knock-on effect on how you feel, how you present yourself in the world. If you don't have a job, for instance, Venus in the 10th house. But it also has an impact on your money. So for the Saggies, that could come in more money because of a new job that you have now, or just more income because more focus there for sure. And yes, it's not really romantic here for the Sagittarians, but it could be a boost financially for sure. Scorpios, dear Scorpios, sorry for misleading you, right? But I hope you're gonna forgive me. I hope you're gonna forgive me. But for the Scorpios, it's all about relationships. It's all about relationships. Whether you are in a relationship, whether you are not in a relationship, someone is getting your attention for sure. With this full moon, they're in the 7th house of connections and of relationships. And the ruler of that is Venus in your 11th house. So there could be, it's a wonderful time now to go out there with friends, with your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, all of those friends, and having a good time for sure. Because also Pluto in the 3rd house, it makes a whole link with all the earth houses in those social houses, you could say. So go out there for sure around that period of time. You are going to be showing who you are because the sun is in your sign, and with your Mars there and Mercury there, you're definitely going to speak your truth. But someone is going to react also very strongly, and it's about this uplifting energy of your connections. And it's like almost as if Scorpios are getting an upgrade in their connections, especially the ones who have been struggling in a connection because of toxicity, because of things that were not okay. And you did your part. I mean, other person has to do whatever they are going to do. I mean, you don't have any control over that. But if you have stick to your guns, if you have tried to be as peaceful as possible, this is going to come out as an upgrade. And yes, for many of you, this could be a new relationship. This could definitely be an upgrade of an existing one as well, and where you have a lot of wishes and goals and dreams for the future that you're going to talk about with your friends, but that are also going to be very realistic and real. Capricorns, this is a very, you could say, inspiring energy because this is in your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of love. So yes, for some of you Capricorns, this is a new love, or this is a love that has been developing, and now boom, moon in your 5th house opposing the sun in the 11th. It could be a friend that becomes, a bit more than a friend. For some of you, it could be really possible. And this is also Pluto in your 1st house, and then this Venus in the 9th house is about like you feel connected with all there is. There's definitely more of a love vibe here that is very real for you Capricorns. If you can't travel, do travel with this 9th house, or at least read a book that is about philosophy or astrology or something that connects all these dots. It's going to give you a lot of boost and a lot of hope for the future. If you are in an existing relationship, go out there, have fun. The 5th house is not only the house of sex, it's also the house of having fun. With like restaurants or theaters or cinema, whatever you name it, or sports. So go out and have some fun there with someone that is very dear to you. It's a really playful energy here. Aquarians, this is deep for you. It's in the emotional houses, so people are not seeing it, but there's something changing in the way that you nurture yourself, in the way that you support yourself. The moon in the 4th house is a good time of realizing that you need to support you, that you are your own parent, so to speak. So do something that reinforces that. Make for yourself a very nice meal or whatever. Just pamper yourself in the things that you want to pamper. And the trine to Venus is in the 8th house, so there is an invitation for more intimacy, for more vulnerability. It can only come when you show your vulnerability, of course, to a specific other person, or in general, you could say that you just want to be real and authentic, and you want the good, the bad, and the ugly in a person, but accepting that first and foremost within yourself is the key. And there's a lot of healing energy here that I see here for you, and that's good because also Pluto is in the 12th house. So all these water houses, all these support comes from you first and foremost. Last but not least, Pisceans, this is a very, very jolly, happy, airy, light energy for you. It's in your 3rd house, this moon. So do something 3rd house like, whether it is having a party in a neighborhood, having a party with people that you know in the neighborhood, with siblings. The 3rd house is siblings as well. You're gonna have a lovely time with some good foods, good drinks, and so on. It's also the 7th house that is stimulated where Venus is. So there is someone there, whether you are single or not, that is catching your attention, that is loving towards you, and you are feeling it. It's also connected to the 11th house of friends. So there could be a friend that comes a little bit more important for you, and that there is an evolution of a friendship into a romance. It's definitely possible. But it comes from this way that you communicate. You communicate in a very raw, grounded, down-to-earth way. And maybe other people have a different opinion because of this Mars and Mercury in your in the Scorpio house, in your 9th house. But it's like you can deal with that. You are very flowy with that energy. So it is time for you to go out, dear Piscean, around that time. Have fun with that. It could also mean study, something that you study or that comes to fruition here. Or on another level, it could be a trip as well. So that there's some sort of a trip that you can take, a short trip. Do it with loved ones, with friends, with people that you love, and you're gonna have a ball. Having said that, thank you so much for watching and all the best.